Okay, I got more questions for you. You saw Christian McCaffrey in this game. 31 touches, 22 carries, 3.1 yards per carry, but almost 150 yards from scrimmage after not really practicing during the week and having a calf injury flare up. What did you think of Christian? What did you see from Christian? How would you assess what he did, how he looked?
Well, there are a couple of runs that he made basically on the toss plays that he showed some burst and some acceleration, but a lot of the time I didn't see a lot of crisp run blocking up front. And so he got nailed for a 1 yard loss, a 2 yard loss. He got hit in the backfield, and he didn't even get, out of the tracks.
That's true. He was getting nailed by 2-3 defenders at a time.
I know. And so I think a lot of the lack of success that he had in really being able to explode in the run game was due to the failure of the Niners offensive line to block clean on the called plays that Kyle was given Purdy to run. And
yeah, so, he didn't really get a chance to get out of his stance.
Correct. And that's the one thing about, we look at the running backs average, God, he only averaged 3.1 yards per play. Well, how many times did he get nailed behind the line of scrimmage? Just like Walter Payton and, Barry Sanders and the great backs in their era days, where they made more guys miss behind the line of scrimmage, due to faulty offensive line blocking, and they were still great backs. But after a while, it's tough.
Yeah. It's not like Brian Robinson Jr. did much better. This was an issue. They didn't re-sign Aaron Banks. Trent Williams had an awful game, and the blocking just wasn't good.
Correct. And the thing about it is, now you can attribute some of it maybe to say, well, that's the first game of the season, and we've got guys who haven't played in the preseason game, so they're basically, out there in the first time all year, they're going full speed. And hope there should be a tremendous improvement between game 1 and game 2 performance, because they should be more in tune with the speed of the game, more acclimated to what it's going to take to be effective. And they've had a chance to critique themselves looking at their tape during the week for what they didn't do well and what they did do well, in pass protection as well as run blocking. And so hopefully, they'll perform better. Now, Saints run a 4 defense, not a 4-man front. So now there's an extra bubble, in the defensive front. Now, of course, on the other hand, you're looking at Brandon Staley, who's the defensive coordinator for the Saints, and he's the head coach of the Chargers. And then last year he was with the Niners. Now look at the guy; he should have a clue about what Kyle likes to do.
Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, and download the app now. Yeah, and vice versa.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, it seems like we've been talking about this. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, at one time, was he not a big proponent of a 5-man defensive line?
He was. And now all of a sudden the Niners are doing it.
I know. And so, see, I would not be shocked if he sticks that in against the Niners on what he thinks are rundowns.
Yep.
To give the Saints that extra bulk in the box, so that forcing Kyle say, okay, you want to run the ball? Hey, I'm loading the box. I'm putting more meat in the box, and getting into a guessing game with Kyle as to when the ball is going to be run, to try to put Mac Jones into 2nd and long, make it 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9. And then, Kyle says, hey, well, geez, do I have to pick it up and throw it, or do I risk another run and then end up in 3rd and long? So there's going to be a little bit of a chess match between those two that try to outguess each other from a strategical perspective as to, what kind of a front that the Saints are going to show.
If I were game planning with Brandon Staley to prepare for the Niners offense, it seemed like I would want to load the box and force or encourage Kyle Shanahan to put the game in Mac Jones' hands as much as possible. I want Mac Jones to throw 45 passes.
And the thing about it is, based upon the way the Niners, struggled a little bit in protection last week against all the stunts that Seattle was running, if I'm Staley, also, I've got some games and some twists and some wedges and some 3-man games and some 2-man games that I can exploit against the Niners front and see if they can pick them up.